Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome back to another episode of Haunted Gaming, where we read some gaming creepypastas and see what they have to offer. This time, if you can tell by the title, we are doing one of the most popular gaming creepypastas out there. In fact, one of the more popular phenomenon in creepy video games in general. And this one is called Evil Otto, or Berserk. This one definitely has a twist to it, a pretty grim twist, and that being said, we're going to sit back, relax, and just get into Evil Otto. Have you ever played Berserk? I've always been too much of a puss to ever play it. If you saw what I saw, if you felt the sadness that I felt. I don't think you played either. It was 1981. I remember it was early Saturday morning. The sun had barely risen. Me and my friend Jeff sat outside of the video arcade. He always got up early on Saturday and waited until the video arcade had opened. One time we got chairs. We waited so long. Jeff was, I think, 19 at the time. He was only a few months older than me. I looked over at Jeff and asked him what time it was, and he pulled out a leather hand watch out of his pocket. I'd never seen it before, maybe he stole it. He's always been a little rebellious to the law. He looked down at the watch and told me that it was 6:30 a.m. How come we always come so early, I asked. I told you this a million times, Jeff replied. I always want to be the first to play Berserk. Fucking Berserk. He always plays Berserk. He shakes slightly in excitement as he looks at the arcade machine through the window. We wait another hour, and after each hour more, more people just show up. They had more common sense than we did, that's for damn sure. We usually wait around 2 to 3 hours for the place to open. So around 8 o'clock, a man with a short beard walks up from inside the arcade and unlocks the door. Jeff and I, with the small crowd of people by our side, rushed through the doors of the arcade. Jeff was the first to get to the coin booth. He gave his $5 to the young man on the other side of the counter. He handed Jeff 20 silver 25-cent coins. He clenched the quarters in his fist and jammed it into his back pocket. He ran over to the Berserk machine and slammed the quarter into the slot. He pressed the start button and is greeted to a robotic voice, and to my knowledge it said, "Attack it." A large smile had washed upon Jeff's face. He ran through each level just blasting every robot and avoiding the evil smile, or Evil Otto as he's called. I refer to him as the Death Smile. Invincible, unstoppable, evil. After getting my $10 worth in quarters, I pull out this chair and watched Jeff play Berserk. I always watched because he always was playing it, and it creeped me out, too much to play it. He rubbed his face on the screen, and I can hear him whisper, "Come on, come on." Each time he says it, though, his voice becomes louder and more violent. It becomes so loud that I couldn't hear the ambience of the people in the arcade. He shot the last robot on the screen and ran into Otto. The screen flashes, and Jeff gets this high score. He falls to the ground, and at first I thought he was joking, and I giggled. His body started to flail on the floor. "Jeff, are you alright?" I ask. "Jeff!" I scream. Everybody in the arcade, is rushing to this flailing body on the floor, and I drop to my knees and put my hand on his chest. "Call 911!" I holler. And when I said that, I noticed that something evil happened. The screen of Berserk flashes again, and you can see the demonic smile laughing. It was you. I always knew that game was sketchy, but not like this. I start to sob, Jeff's body just stopped moving. Oh my god. I put my head on his chest, and then I keep screaming, "Where's the fucking ambulance?" And I lay on his chest for like a good 10 minutes. So I hear the siren coming from outside, and in a matter of moments, twin men pulled me up and grabbed Jeff. They were paramedics. One paramedic actually tried to revive him, screaming, "Clear," and I saw him shake his head and just say no good. The other paramedic ran to the ambulance and grabbed a body bag. I leaned on the wall next to the arcade machine and just sobbed. They grabbed Jeff and put him into a bag and they zipped it up. Then they pick it up and, with Jeff's lifeless body right inside it and haul it off into the ambulance. The two men put his body in the car and shut the back and enter the cab. I walked outside and watched the ambulance move out of the parking lot. Jeff had died of a heart attack that night. I walked back into the arcade and looked at Berserk. That smile was there, still laughing. I pointed at the machine and said it was you, and out of anger I drive my fist through the screen. Sparks flare and the screen shatters. I pulled my hand out of the shattered screen and stared at it. There was one shard of glass in my knuckle. A long streak of blood ran down my arm. The owner screams, "Hey, you fucking crazy?" To which I replied, "No, just angry." At that point on, I just opened the door and stormed out of the arcade. Now, that was short and sweet. Probably the shortest since, I would say, Hypno's Lullaby? But truth be told, it had a twist, like I said at the beginning, and it's actually real. This is essentially a dramatization of the events that occurred. The game itself is quite real, and the story is, it's not exactly how it's told in the creepypasta, but we'll get to that in a bit. But before we begin, I have to tell you about Berserk. It is a game for the Atari. It's quite real. The game is your standard run and gunner with randomly generated rooms, as well as incredibly stupid artificial intelligence who kill themselves over and over again, and last but not least, the big man himself, Evil Otto. The character is known for the ability to not die and acts very sporadically, to say the least. It's got a feature for speech synthesis, which ended up giving it quite some popularity, and, not just in gaming itself, but you'd also see it in TV shows like Futurama and whatnot. It explains the actions, in the story quite well. Everything flows together, that's one thing for sure. Now, as I was saying, the tale was real in the beginning, and I'm not joking, it's real. It involves two real-life individuals who are unfortunately not with us anymore. Jeff Daly and Peter Burkowski. Two individuals who died while playing this game, both of the same reason, cardiac arrest. They racked up ridiculously high scores and dropped dead, both allegedly from this same, manner of dying and from playing the same game, when they encountered Evil Otto, apparently, which makes this character the first murderer of video games. But that set aside, this is a very, very grim tale, and make of it what you will, but this was unfortunately just, I guess, pure excitement and coupled with intensive play sessions that ultimately did end up killing both these individuals, similar to people who play, certain games for long periods of time without, eating or sleeping and anything of the sort. This isn't some Polybius-esque conspiracy, which I saw some people link this to. Some would assume that's what's going on with the similarities of death and whatnot, and I doubt something, in the end is subliminally leading to the demise of players when they encounter Evil Otto. Is this some sort of dark being hidden within code? I just don't think so, and that's my look. And honestly, for all we know, he could be this very dark video game character, and we should encounter with great caution. But realistically, I don't think so, and what happened to these two individuals was quite unfortunate. This game is one of the first that, when it's linked with the creepypasta, actually does have these events, unfortunately, tying behind it. But that's really it. For all we know, again, and I do stress this could be real. Evil Otto could be a very evil character. That's the beauty of internet scary stories or creepypastas. They spread easily, and their legitimacy always has a hint of truth to them. And even when it's proven, we always still will have doubts. This is Evil Otto, a character that will forever be a blip, not just in creepypastas, but in gaming, in our pop culture. It is one gaming creepypasta that will always haunt those who fascinate on the subject. And in the end, what do you think actually happened, and why? What are your theories behind it? And how do you think the story is fleshed out? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you saw, then please like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, and I'm out.